Hi, I'm Heidi
And I'm Rod.
from Garden Crossings, and today we're going to take you through a bunch of projects that you have planned here. Like, you just can never just let things sit. You always have a plan in progress.
I gotta be finished.
But
Finished.
finished? Well, once your gardens are finished, you know what that means.
They're dead.
They're dead, right. So I guess you got to keep going. So there's 3 projects that we're going to show you today that Rod's been in the works of. This one, actually, you've been planning for well over a year now, right?
Yes, we have.
So what do you got going on here? What are they doing?
Well, 2 different things, what this is supposed to be for. So what we have, they're digging the trench for the footing and for the wall. And then we're gonna put a 10-foot patio on the outside of this greenhouse. One, the patio is gonna allow us to put plastic on a little easier, so we can use the scissor lift. But 2, I'm hoping to make something up there, fancy it up a ways. I don't know if it'll be like a outdoor lunch area for the employees. I'm not necessarily quite exactly sure, but basically what they're doing right now is just digging for the footing, and then we're gonna have a 10-foot slab of cement between that, the greenhouse. The footing, the wall is gonna act as like a retaining wall, and then there'll be a brand new garden bed in front of it when we're done.
So the wall, basically, just like when you think of building a house in a basement? Is
like
that
a foundation wall.
Okay,
Yep.
So that's going to come out 10 foot off the greenhouse.
Yep.
Which that's actually further than you had originally planned, because I thought you told me it was going to only come like 3 foot
Well,
off
it
or
was,
something?
but if we kind of come over here, we're in Blendon Township, and the water table is very high, and we're only down, I think he's shooting for about 4 feet, but we were going to do this in April and have this done by now, but we had so much rain in April, and we were worried about being so close to the greenhouse. They actually worried about the greenhouse falling into the trench. So we pulled it further off.
Right, and I think it's a better idea with 10 foot, because then, like you said, you can run the tractor probably on it, or...
Scissor lift. We ain't gonna run a tractor on it, but yeah.
But it'll give you plenty of room to run things.
Yep.
So 10 foot off, so it'll be all cement from that wall to the greenhouse.
Yep.
How big is the garden going to be that you're thinking of putting?
About another 5 to 8 feet, depending.
So not a huge garden.
Not a huge garden.
So do you have plans for what you're looking to put into there, or are you open to suggestions? Like if there's anyone watching that has plants that would like us to trial them, are you open to trialing new things if there's
Well, we can always trial
companies?
new things. I was planning on some of the newer shrubs potentially, but yeah, I'm open to anything at this point.
Okay, well, we'll see.
We'll probably have, in the center of it all, we'll probably have some stairs built to go up from the lawn area, if you want to say it that way. Also thinking about probably, there's not going to be a huge drop off right here, but when you get more in the center, there's going to be more of a drop off because the slopes down to the ditch we have at the end of our property. But I'm also looking probably, so no one falls off the edge, probably putting a split rail fence on it, on the edge of it. We'll have
Wait
to
a minute.
see.
Split rail fence on
the edge of this concrete.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. I'm not completely convinced yet. I want to kind of see what it looks like before I make the final decision.
Because you don't want the concrete to be on an angle down to the ditch.
Oh, no.
You want the concrete to stay flat.
You're going to have a drop off from the patio to the garden. And I don't want anybody falling off that.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So am I using a split rail fence? Am I using more of a deck rail? I don't know what I'm going to quite use yet, but we'll see.
Right, get it fancied up. Okay,
Correct.
So this project, how long do you think it will take? I mean, I guess it depends on the weather.
They're supposed to be putting the wall in tomorrow.
How do they do that with the water in the bottom there?
Well, we'll find out.
That's
why
not
my problem.
That's their job. They know what to do. Okay, so then the summer will be.
By the end of the summer, we should have everything set, and hopefully within the next couple of weeks, we could even be planting in front of the wall already.
Okay, good. So this is project number 1, and this is by far the biggest project that you're taking on.
Most definitely. This is the one that's been, after the last greenhouse was built, this has been the idea ever since. It's just a matter of getting it done.
Okay, so another garden to add to the Proven Winner signature garden.
That is true.
Okay.
That is true.
So let's head on over to, so this is the north side of the property. We're going to head to the south side of the property where kind of one of the projects is already complete, but I'll have you talk about it a little bit. Another one you're just starting off today. So let's head to the south end and take a look what's going on down there.
Perfect.
So this garden bed here is the second project of the summer, which actually I guess it's really the first because it's finished. But describe what you put in here, why you did what you did, how big it is, that kind of thing.
So right behind me, I have a 10 foot by 100 foot area here. And if you look right behind us is a city water pump house. It's kind of cut out of our property for the city water lines. So I wanted to kind of block the view of the greenhouses from the street. Plus we had a trailer decide he was going to pull right through the city property. And
Clearly it's a
clearly it's a driveway
Clearly
that
it
goes to lawn and it ends, but you can see right where the trailer scraped up. And actually the city or the county asked me to fix it up and do something here, and that's why I said, you know what, I was going to put a tree line, shrub line, if you want to call it that, of North Pole, through your North Poles. And I wanted that out here as a natural fence block, if you want to call it that.
Yep.
So we planted that last week, didn't realize when we were doing it how wide this was, and since it's a wide area, I can't not put a plant in it, right?
Right.
So we
Green is
talked
better than
about
bark.
putting some hydrangeas in it. The hydrangeas by usually in midsummer, July, August, look gorgeous around the property. These are gonna have to take a couple years to get established, but you know what we did is we put 3 different kind of hydrangeas in here. We put the main one on the outer edges, and the center is Little Lime Punch, hydrangea Little Lime Punch. It's a hardy type hydrangea.
Show you that one.
And when I say hardy, I think a lot of you know, but from our videos, but hardy means that they're going to flower on this year's growth.
Right, and Little Lime Punch is hardy in zones 3 to 8. So, I mean, even if we have a ridiculously cold winter, they are going to do fine because we're a zone 5B, 6A in this area. So,
and what does it get for height and spread?
Height, so that'll get 3 to 5 foot tall, 3 to 5 foot wide. You didn't want them to get super tall, and
Correct.
5 foot will probably actually be how tall they get once they're mature.
And do you know what North Pole gets off the top of your head?
North Pole, I believe, gets about 10 to 15 foot tall
Okay.
and approximately 5 foot wide.
Yeah, if that.
Yeah, so I mean, that'll be a pretty not a huge tall, but just nice enough that it'll cover the pump house good.
Correct.
And then yeah, these will be shoulder-ish high, most of them, especially the Little Lime Punch. Little Lime Punch, I think, is the biggest of the 3 that we planted. So what was your thought for the layout for the Little Lime Punch? You were telling me earlier, is there like...
There's 2 on each end and then 3 in the center of the
okay.
bed. And then off the center, we come with pufferfish. That's kind of over in here. There's 3 pufferfish on each side. Again, rod and height, you have to be symmetrical. So you have the Little Lime Punch, 3 in the center, and then 3 pufferfish on each side of that. And what is pufferfish zone for?
Pufferfish is also a panicle hydrangea, hardy
Correct.
hydrangea. So blooms on the new growth, so it doesn't matter when we trim them. Pufferfish is also zone 3 to 8, and it gets 3 to 5 foot tall and wide, so it should be similar to that Little Lime Punch size.
And you know, you said it doesn't matter when you trim them.
Well, you don't want to trim them when they have flowers, but we can trim them in the fall after they're done blooming.
Or really before they
early
sprouting
spring.
in the spring.
Right.
You start,
So April for here in Michigan.
you know,
but-
someone's going to come through and tell their husband, you can trim it any time.
Trim them in July, you'll have flowers.
And
No, don't trim them in July.
No, you trim them in June, mid-June, you ain't going to see flower until October. And most,
So I guess if they're in Florida, maybe, but... So
Yeah.
trimming anytime really means, let me just clarify that, is trim them in the fall after they're done blooming, or trim them in the spring
before they really bud out.
Yeah, before they start. And the difference between Little Lime Punch and pufferfish is Little Lime Punch is going to get the white flowers that turn really magenta pink color, so there's going to be a lot of color transition on that Little Lime Punch, where pufferfish mostly is white and green. It's not going to get any of that pink coloration that goes on. Pufferfish has kind of a unique flower form with kind of that little wisp at the tip of the
so
flower.
why is it called pufferfish?
Well, so from what I understand from the person that named it, pufferfish must kind of, they're big, they're puffy, and they must spit water, I guess, like psst. So like big round flower with a little psst of water puffing out. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, just thought I'd ask. I didn't know.
I don't know.
It's a pretty popular plant for being brand new.
Brand new this year, and it's super popular. So yeah, I mean, looks great in pictures, looked good in the landscape when the trial gardens last year.
I mean, if I had to give my opinion again, and I've done that on certain petunias this year already.
Oh,
Pufferfish is a nice plant, but I like punch. I mean, punch gives you that vibrant, goes to white to a real dark color burgundy.
Right. I guess it depends what you're looking for. Like
It
some
is, it
people
does.
don't want pinks and reds in their garden. So then if you're just going with that white,
I like the hot colors.
You
I don't
like-
like the dull colors.
you do. You like them hot. All right.
Nice.
So there's a third plant in here as well.
Yes, and that's the plant you did not want to put in
No,
here. Careful.
my opinion, I prefer, if I'm going to plant a hydrangea, I want a nice full bloom. I'm not really a lace cap hydrangea girl. Like, I want them full, not lacy. So this one, he's right. This one would not have been my choice.
I put a little quick fire in. Again, it's roughly the same size, the 3 to 5 feet, and again, it's a hardy hydrangea. And so again, the trimming is the same.
Yep.
The thing
Still
is
zone
about
3 to 8.
the little quick
3 to 5.
fire. It goes by its name, and it flowers earlier.
Quick.
It flowers quick.
Right,
It flowers
yeah.
in June
Right.
instead of July and August.
Right. So that will help give color to this space.
It will.
Longer throughout the season.
And that was my idea. Plus, I wanted to get a little bit more variation in flower style.
Because if it was all what I wanted, we'd all have.
And it would be gorgeous in July
Yeah.
and be all big hydrangeas.
Right.
But this way it gives a little bit of unique feel. I mean, and it is all hydrangeas, so that takes away some variability already. That's why I wanted to add this in.
Right. So this will be a very easy maintenance bed. Just
Most
weeding
definitely.
as needed. And once the plants get big, probably it'll cover up all the mulch.
Right.
They're all going to get trimmed the same, so we don't have to worry about fussing this or that with the plants. If we need to trim them, it's all going to get done the same. This way is actually west, so these plants are going to get sun until probably about 1, maybe 2 o'clock or so, from sun up to 1 or 2 o'clock. So they're for full sun to part shade locations. I will be curious.
And you're saying that based on North Pole being fully grown.
Yeah, right now.
Right
it
now
doesn't
you're going to
matter.
get sun till the end of the day.
Right. So once that's a solid wall of North Pole, right,
Yes.
then they're going to get sun until about halfway through the day. So I don't know, excited to watch this space and see what it does.
Yeah, it's just a space that was a dead area right offside our employee parking area. And I just thought we'd spice it up.
It's kind of simple. It's
Simple.
kind of a simple garden design. And obviously we know not everybody has 100 foot of ground to fill.
Oh, no.
But if you do, I mean, a great block. But even if you just have a 20-foot garden, I mean, take 3 North Pole and 2 hydrangeas or something. You can definitely dial this down to
Correct.
any size space that you have.
Right.
All right, let's head over to the third space and see what's going on over there.
Okay.
So this is the third project you're working on, and clearly this one is just freshly begun. They just literally dug the hole, 10 minutes ago. So there's a lot of measuring and stuff going on. Cross lines, make things very straight and precise.
I said to Carter, make sure it's straight.
Well, he's got rope going in all directions and laser levels and
So this is, we just did a video on the east side of what we call the city water pump house.
Yeah.
Now we're on the south side. So you can kind of see that area sitting behind us is cut out from our property. So what we're going to try to do is we're going to try to match the split rail fence you see further on the north side of the pump house property on this side of the property. So I just wanted, we have traffic going at 55 miles an hour down the road for the garden center.
Right.
And the idea is we want to stop the traffic. And the sooner we can let them know, hey, the driveway's coming up, I think this will help with that.
right.
And, we always said, oh, we didn't even know you were here. Next customer that comes to the garden center and says, you don't know you were here, I'm not
scared
sure.
they're driving.
I'm not sure if we should ask for their license, to be honest.
Right.
So,
There's so much color it would.
but
Yeah.
my expectations for this is more of a shrub line, maybe a few annuals in it, but not like you see maybe somewhere else.
So-
but it could change. You never know.
Keeping it simpler again is the thought, or like
We
when,
can
so
say
when you
simple-
say shrubs, obviously you didn't want to do
Shrubs
tall,
or perennials.
Okay, you didn't want to do tall shrubs on that fence because you didn't want it to block anything.
Correct.
So is that your same thought for here? Or
It is for the front half of it.
shorter in the front?
Correct, because on this side of it, you're not going to block very much. And from the road, I'm blocking the parking lot, just like the trees are blocking the parking lot.
Right.
When I get closer to the actual road, then I don't want something tall, because then you're looking over the pump house property into our property. So that's kind of the idea here.
So if it's 3 foot would probably be extreme. You probably want something around 2 foot or
Correct.
less, right? Okay.
Correct.
Yep. So they are getting it all, the poles all set today. Once the poles are set, what's the next step here then in the process?
Just sliding the rails through the posts, and pretty much it's done. We'll
So you're going to leave grass in front of the...
no, we're not going to leave the grass. We'll kill off the grass, most likely.
Okay,
And
rototill it
then
in or whatever.
rototill it in, do that type of thing, and then add bark to it. And then we'll just kind of see throughout the summer. It might be planted pretty quickly. Who knows? Depends on what I want to put in it.
Right.
I don't really have I don't have an idea yet. It's
Again, open to
I'm
thoughts.
visual. I'm a very visual person, so I got to see it done, and then I can put it together from there.
Good. All right. So that's the 3 projects that we have either
Today.
worked on.
Today.
Oh no, and he's probably not kidding. See what I live with? I never know
I mean,
until the fence arrives that we got a project.
We just turn around and look at the garden.
Oh, we could. Okay. So this is actually the kids' project here.
Carter's project. really.
Well, Marissa helped too.
Oh, did she?
So Carter came to Rod and said, "Dad, I want a garden." We don't eat vegetables, so I'm not sure why we want a garden. Well, that's not entirely true. We eat beans, corn, broccoli.
Lima beans.
No, we don't.
I do.
Yeah, you do. So that's the extent of our vegetable. Like, we don't have a very big vegetable palette going on. So Carter wanted to build a garden.
Cauliflower.
Yeah, cauliflower.
He put pumpkins in.
We don't eat pumpkins.
I know, but he put pumpkins in.
Yeah. So
Peppers, tomatoes.
So again, when Rod wants a project done, he doesn't just put a garden in. It's got to be, a garden. So Carter came through, measured it all up, got everything level, put poles down probably 2-3 foot in the ground. The fence is buried in the ground a foot. There's not a rabbit going to get in here.
No bunnies.
Then Carter also, not wired it, that's not the word, tubed it, piped it.
For what? Sprinkling?
Water.
Oh, yeah. He plumbed it.
He plumbed it. So
Yeah.
he put water lines all around it so the sprinklers will hit it. We might do an update on this, but we might not. By the sounds of how they did their rows, it won't be Rod worthy.
Oh, come on.
You
mean,
in
what-
straight lines. The
Well,
whole grass if the lines aren't straight.
let's just put it this way. The pumpkins are going to be growing into the strawberries.
And the strawberries growing into the peppers.
No, maybe not. We'll see.
We'll see. But we
But-
had a lot of strawberries. Those aren't vegetables; those are fruit. But we had a lot of strawberries left, so they put a ton of strawberries in. So that will be good as long as the birds stay away.
Oh, birds. We can take care of birds too.
We can.
I don't know, more netting, more.
Oh boy. See, there's always something. Always something. So yeah, so the kids are pretty proud of what they did, and we'll continue to see how successful the garden is. They also too, they were really kind. They had thought of your mom and my mom too, and put tomatoes and peppers in because they know that they like them.
Yeah.
Cabbage. So thinking of grandmas that can't get out in the garden anymore. So we'll see how it does. It's always fun when the kids want to take on a project, and I mean they did it from start to finish. Like you didn't have a hand in this at all. So they did a really nice job. So we'll see how it does. But thanks for watching. We'll continue to show you progress of the different garden spaces throughout the summer. If you have questions or comments, please feel free to leave comments below. And if there's any plants that we talk about in our videos, especially in this case the shrubs, we are a mail order company and we ship plants all over the United States. I'm Heidi
And Rod?
from Garden Crossings. Have a great day.